None of this had anything to do with the success at the ballot box or the fact that Donald Trump did not want to pay for sex change operations like Kamala did for illegal immigrants and convicts, or pay for college tuition, use taxpayer dollars for college tuition for illegal immigrants. Here now with more, the author of a brand new, guaranteed, massive bestseller, Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback. He's a historian at heart. He's a professor at heart. He's a friend indeed, former Speaker of the House, last person to balance the budget 4 or 5 consecutive years. Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich, congratulations, sir, on the new book. It is historic by every measure. And then you hear Tim Walz, and it's, well, Donald Trump gave you a sense of belonging, and he gave you a uniform. What, it had nothing to do with open borders, a horrible economy, them wanting taxpayer-funded sex change operations, had nothing to do with them wanting to take away our gas stoves, plastic straws, refrigerators, and air conditioners?
No, you know, the nice thing, excuse me, the nice thing about this is that Kamala was shallow, and so she picked an equally shallow vice presidential candidate. Neither of these people have a clue about America. They don't have a clue about policy. They don't have a clue about the American people. And Tim Walz gets trotted out occasionally. At least he's more articulate than Kamala, who burbles, laughs, and gets lost. But the truth is, and I tried to get this across in my new book on Trump's Triumph, there is a very profound underlying cultural civil war underway. The American people increasingly are on the side of Donald Trump because they believe he stands up against the very values that are at the heart of the Obama-Biden system. And it was an Obama-Biden system, not just Biden. That system was racist. It was spent money like crazy. It believed in weird values. And I think the American people said no.
You know, the amazing thing to me is usually after a defeat, a team will go back to the drawing board. They'll look at what they may have done right, but they'll also really examine what they did wrong. And there'll be something called a course correction. There'll be self-reflection analysis. As a matter of fact, you wrote a book years ago after you left the speakership, Lessons Learned the Hard Way. Very introspective, very reflective.
Sure.
You admitted mistakes that you thought you had made, and they're not willing to go through that process, obviously, as they now embrace Tim Walz, Grandpa Bernie, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, and the squad. Thoughts?
Well, look, but if you are the base of the modern Democratic Party, I mean, look at the mayor's race in New York. The insurgent younger candidate is literally insane, deeply anti-Jewish, very hateful, hates America, and yet he may well win and become mayor of New York because their party is now off. When you have an almost religious belief system, and I have to say, Nate Silver makes me feel very good because I've thought that there was a large element of craziness in the Democratic Party, and he's now confirming that it's in fact statistically true. And what you have are people, I mean, think about it. You have people who are out of touch with reality.
They are.
They are. So you're not really having a debate between two realistic systems. You're having a debate between people who believe in America, people who believe in the work ethic, people who believe in fundamental honesty, and people who are nuts. And I think we don't have the right language yet to place these two debates the way they should be. And as a result, we actually allow the other side to pretend. I'll give you an example. Everything they're saying about Medicaid cuts is a lie. It's a plain out lie. Because the fact is, this new beautiful big bill doesn't take anybody deserving of help off the Medicaid rolls. No one. It takes off illegal immigrants, it takes off people who refuse to work, and it takes off people who are crooks. Now, why the Democratic Party would want to be the party of illegal immigrants, crooks, and people who refuse to work is beyond me. And there's a couple of Republicans who get sucked into this language. But the truth is, they can't win any honest debate about any major topic. And Trump, like Reagan, understands how to pitch the issue in a way that people look up and go, oh yeah, well, that's obvious, I'm with him. And that's part of what my book's all about, is how did he and the American people came together to create a remarkable moment.
There is, in my view, and I think you'll agree, a seismic political shift. What the president is doing, $10 trillion in investments, what he is doing with no tax on tips and overtime, it is now the party of hardworking men and women. He's bringing back manufacturing, auto manufacturing. He's bringing back pharmaceutical manufacturing. We're going to make our own semiconductor chips. We're going to, we're becoming energy dominant, independent, high-paying career jobs in every field. And they've become the party of woke coastal elitists, and they keep doubling down on it. And I think they've lost touch completely with the American people. So they're probably going to be depressed for a lot longer than they think. Your last word.
Well, and that's Nate Silver's whole point. These are people who get in a room, look at each other, and realize that their world's disappearing, and they feel depressed. And they should feel depressed because their ideas are goofy.
All right. No, well said. Mr. Speaker, congratulations on the new book. Amazon.com, bookstores around the country out today. It was the greatest political comeback ever. There's no doubt about it. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.